Hello, all, and welcome to this afternoon's beer review. I know I said I wasn't going to do a beer review. I lied. No, I didn't lie. Um, I just decided to go and do a growler fill while I was out doing the pub crawl last night with my cousin, and one of the beers we had at Three Peaks, I kind of wanted to review because I enjoyed it. So that's why I got a growler fill. And I'm dubbing this particular beer review the Hot and Sweaty Beer Review. Feels like summer's back again. I went and walked to the donut shop because I felt in the mood for some donuts, and that's why my hair looks like between the wind and the humidity. It's all nice and poofy. Poofy, yeah, look at that. Oh, yeah, yeah. I'm not saying it was aliens, but it was aliens. Yeah, put a message there if you know what I'm riffing off of. So, what is the beer that we are reviewing? So, the beer that we are reviewing is from a local brewer I haven't reviewed yet, but a few days ago I noticed that they won a reward. I can't remember which reward for being one of the best breweries in the state of Hawaii. And so that made me feel bad. Why haven't I reviewed them? And I guess my justification has been that they've really done kind of really standard beers. You know, they have a stout, they have like a golden ale, they have like, pale ale, which is what I'm going to be reviewing this afternoon. And, I think like the most wild thing that they have in their lineup is a smoked ale. And, so I wouldn't like to say I chase trends, but it all, whenever it came down to picking which one I'm going to go and have the growler fill of, it never came up first until today. And yeah, so quite stoked to be going in and reviewing Stewbum and Stonewall. Or is it Stonewall and Stewbum? Yeah. I always get it reversed. Yeah. So, Stewbum and Stonewall. That's what it is. Stewbum and Stonewall. And this is one of their flagships, Batch 518 Pale Ale, American Pale Ale. 5.18 ABV and 51.8 IBUs. Of course, you can't really get it that precise, but they're trying to go for a theme there. And Stewbum and Stonewall are basically the nicknames of the founders of this brewery's fathers, who were best friends. And 518 is apparently the address of the house that they would meet to hang out in. So can't get much more pro than that, huh? So without much further ado, let's go and crack this open. If I can get my growler open out. There we go. Oh, didn't have to battle today. Pouring it into, excuse me. I swear. How did that get in there? There's like a little piece of like something stuck on the inside, so that's why I went and looks like boy, I'm gonna have to use my fingernail on this, aren't I? It's not one thing, it's another, I don't know what that was. Probably a bit of grapefruit juice or something. Pulp. So, let's go and pour this out. Giving it a fairly vigorous pour since, tapped yesterday evening. A lovely, I would say gold to amber color. Pretty nicely carbonated for growler fill. With a fluffy off-white to cream head. Base of bready and crackery malts. Bready to crackery, right in between there. and somewhat earthy, floral, and a slightly piney hops. Not sure what kind of hops were used in this. Actually, why not go and see? Since I have the name of the brewery up there, huh? Should be in there, huh? Okay. No, it doesn't say what kind of hops. Anyways, yeah. So very classic smelling. Um, Definitely seems to lean a little bit more to the English side than the American Pale Ale side, just because it has a bit more malt in the nose than I usually associate with American Pale Ales. But the hops are also there as well. It's just a matter of, like, how much it goes on the malts to hops ratio there. That evokes either the English Pale Ale or the American Pale Ale for me. Now, onto the palate now, shall we? Mm. Hella refreshing after a long walk in 80 degrees, sunshiny weather, humid as hell. A subtle, bitter, long finish with a ghost of, yeah, just a slight graininess underneath that subtle hoppiness in the long finish. Balance of hops to malts is really just perfect here, which is why I ended up reviewing this one. Now, I'm going to try my best, but I don't think I'm going to be able to get too much in the way of tasting notes. But I think it's important to kind of review this to just kind of show how much just a good balance in between the malts and the hops. Well, for this style at least, it's not a style where the yeast is really making a show. But get what I'm saying? It's balanced. It's balanced on the palate and is balanced in the top note as well. Bitterness rises in the front to mids and then slowly declines into the long finish. A mildly piney, with just a touch of grapefruit for the hop dimensionality there. Nothing that really stands out per se, but just plays well with those ready to crackery malts. At times, just a little ghost of sweetness, kind of a light caramelized note pokes its head out before kind of subsiding again. There's a slight brightness to the hops, but they don't pop, and that's okay because if it popped, if I was getting slapped upside the nose here with a lot of super bright hop notes, it wouldn't be balanced with the malts anymore. Mm, very refreshing, to say the least. Tastes exactly at 5.18 ABV. As it warms up, there's a bit of a citrus zest aspect appearing to the hops on the palate. Again, not losing its sense of balance. And not losing its refreshing quality. So, what can we say about this beer? As you kind of notice, I'm not really pointing out like some, these unique taste notes here, but this is a style that's not about having a bunch of taste notes. It's about balance. The American Pale Ale style, English Pale Ale style for that matter, um, is all about balance. And while it definitely comes across a bit more to the English side on the nose, it's hopped enough that it feels like an American Pale Ale on the palate. And I'm going to be looking forward to reviewing more Stewbum and Stonewall beers. Just go and see if, you know, if their other beers are like that in this nature, really well done, really tightly made, no real flaws, kind of going for uh, a quintessential example of a style as opposed to like this is our take of it. Trying to go and hit a platonic form for a beer style. Getting I'm getting mighty pretentious here, aren't I? Anyways, about 13 minutes in, I think I've rambled on enough about this beer. It's a pretty good one. So if you're in Hawaii, their current tap house is over in Waikiki. That's another reason why I haven't really tried any of their beers. It's basically when I can find it on tap at Three Peaks because I am not going to Waikiki in my lifetime. Um, Unless, like family absolutely requires that I go to Waikiki. Waikiki, well, all of y'all probably know it. It's like the tourist district of Oahu, and it's basically a concrete hellhole. I don't even know why it's still a premier visitor site. Whenever I go there, it just feels like I'm walking through the valley of the shadow of death and consumerism. But I digress. Batch 518 from Stewbum and Stonewall. An excellent, well done American Pale Ale. And that, folks, is your beer review for this afternoon. Cheers.